Hello. Welcome everybody to the Brand On Zone. And today I have a special guest, Javone, Dr. Love Jones, author, coach, and speaker. He's the author of the book called How to Level Up, How to Start Living Your Life, Your Best Life Now. Excuse me if I butchered that, how's it going, Javone?
It's going fantastic. It's going great. Life is going good. Just happy to be here. Happy to be on. Thank you for having me on, by the way. And let's go.
Yes, sir. And it's a privilege to have you on here. This is what we need right now. Positive message for people all around, black, white, yellow, skinny, tall, fat. Everybody needs a good message, how to improve their life. And especially with everything going on in the world. And this book is right on time. Level up your life. And I just want to know what is preventing people? What is something that you've seen that is preventing people from being their best selves?
Well, it's many things. It's many layers of traumas that everybody carries on a consistent basis. You know, one of the things that we've been programmed is this idea that to live your best life is to have something that is not truly desirable to you. So more people are not, what's causing people to not feel like they're living their best life or feel like they're being held back, and I could use my personal self as an example, is the fact that we often compare ourselves to other people, to what they have. And we never start to take a look within ourselves and recognize what is it that we have that no other person can have? Because just the way someone else is privileged, you're also privileged as well.
Okay, so understanding the value that you personally can bring to the world, I feel like that's very powerful. So how can someone really tap in to their personal values, kind of weed out the noise and really concentrate on self? What are some tips, tactics, practices that people maybe can implement in their life to really focus on themselves?
Well, first, it starts with you got to know who you are. And knowing who you are plays a very vital role of knowing what you need to do. Because if you don't know who you are, then you want to attach yourself to ideas that's not true to what you want in life. There are many people who have success, not success, but they have the idea of what looks successful, but they're still unhappy. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you want to do is find out what is the thing that's going to make you happy? What is the thing that's going to bring design to your world? And then from there, what you do is once you start working on yourself, then you start connecting with people who are like-minded, who are like minds of you. You gotta, and then from there, once you start connecting those like-minded people, you start to read more because there's information that's out there. There's books galore. There's grateful things. So there's a lot of steps we could take, but the first thing it takes you have to be intentional about what you want, and knowing what you want is knowing who you are.
And I can see how people can get lost in a false identity in their lives and living up to what's going on in the media, how they feel like they should be portrayed in the world. And so knowing yourself and finding yourself is a powerful thing. It's a liberating thing. It's something that, I can speak for myself personally. Once I really gave up those things that the world was praising and really focused on myself and what made me feel good and who I was, the journey just became that much easier. So being your authentic self is something that I feel like can drive or change a family, drive a business, and or anything. That's the root cause. I feel like that's a foundational self-development tool that we all need to tap into. Is finding out who we are, what we stand for, and then everything else will illuminate around that. So that's very powerful. So what inspired you to write this book? what was going through your mind when you sit down and like, I'm gonna write a book? Like, how did that happen?
All right. So becoming an author was a 5-year journey. Started in 2015. 2015, I decided to, get into this range of self-development and be a catalyst because self-development has done a lot to me, for me personally. So I was able to, so once I became going to self-development, once I get into speaking and stuff like that, so I said, hey, great way to get myself out there is to launch this book. But the problem with creating a book in 2015, I had a lot of information. I didn't have enough life experiences to really drive myself to finish the book.
How old are you, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
30. I just turned 32 2 weeks ago.
Awesome. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. So from around, I would say about 5 6 years ago. So you go about better part of 2014 2015. So at this point, though I had some experiences, there was more to come. Mm-hmm. So what happened was between 2017 2018, I started getting depressed. I went through depression, and there was just me having to realize that I was settling for too little when I knew that I was worth more. I had a poverty mindset. I was working at a job that was not paying me much, that is not allowing me to express who my true talents are. I was working as a housekeeper in a hospital. So once I left that, I just continued this trend of just getting a job just to be happy to say, hey, I'm working. Yeah, I got a job. And part of my depression was being able to walk away from a job, recognizing that this job did nothing good for me. I didn't like the environment. I didn't like the pay. I didn't like my boss. I didn't like the only few things I liked about the job is the few people that mattered. And those were great people I was able to walk away with great relationships with. But so fast forwarded to now becoming an author, about a year ago, I recognized I've overcame a lot. I recognized that there was a lot that I was able to overcome emotionally. And I recognized that I've gained a lot of information, and I can now compile this into the book of where I'm at now. So I had an idea, a title for the book back in 2015. Maybe I might write that later on, but this book was part of my transformation. It was part of the journey that I've been on, and I felt I needed to document this and put it into a world in the form of nuggets where other people could benefit, because I don't live my life just to grow myself. I live it so other people can grow with me on this journey.
And we appreciate your mind, Javone. That's very powerful. I mean, a lot of people can't put the puzzle pieces together like that. Being able to write a book, and we can dig deep into that because I'm all about knowledge, branding, marketing, and just launching something. So, what all goes into writing a book? What team do you need? What resources do you need? Where can people find your book? How did you get it there? Just let's get to the core of it. That way, if we have some bright minds out there that's thinking about doing what you did, they can go ahead and start today and start their goal.
All right. So here's the thing about writing a book. It takes a burning desire. You have to have a burning reason for wanting to do it, because what's going to happen is, I'm going to tell you what happened for me. I decided to write this book in the latter part of 2018. So I'm excited. I'm about to write this book. I'm pumped up. So, at the time I was driving Lyft, and I was just excited that I was writing a book, and I was talking about it, and I was letting people know I'm writing this book, and I recognized, I forgot. I don't know what I want to talk about. I caught blocks. And what I recognize is that if you understand that sometimes you have to just do it, and you can't really talk about what you're doing because you might be telling a person who energy is not in alignment with your goals, and they might put negative energy out there that can be blocks to you. And I learned that I had to do that, but it's still my personality that whenever I'm about to do something big, it's just, I got to share this. It's overwhelming energy. I need to just share this overflow. So part of writing a book is knowing how to balance your excitement and your work, because it's good to be excited, but you still have to go. I still had to write those chapters down. I still had to write that information down, and I still had to get it together. The second thing about writing a book is after you write the book, the editing is the most crucial aspect of your book, is the editing. Now, if you happen to, I don't care, I'm not even gonna say that. Even if you're the most punctual, you dot your I's, you cross your T's, you put periods, question marks, all these things, you still want to get it proofread, because now what you intend to say and what you are actually saying usually are two different. And you need someone else to kind of like guide where you're, to get the best power out of what you say. So it's important to get it edited. Then you have to decide whether you want to self-publish, do you want to work with a publisher? And that's another direction to go, but there's ins and outs with that. I'm not going to get too deep on that, but that's something to keep in mind. And then from there, you got to know because your cover says a lot about what you're going to say in your book, and knowing the type of market it. So all of those different things goes into writing a book.
Yes, and I appreciate that. The whole journey. I mean, you were giving out years. I heard you say 2015, 2018. Like, you can have a goal, but there's a journey, there's a process that you have to go through with anything you decide to do. If a lot of people have a mentality like, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, and they just see the end result of them getting that paycheck. But there's a whole journey involved that you have to be prepared for. There's bumpy roads, there's failures, there's doubts, there's mindsets that you have to get through in order to get to that goal that you're seeking. So I know you mentioned you hit some points, but I'm pretty sure each point took a specific amount of time to get accomplished. So that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely.
Sir. Yes, sir. So what is your inspiration to keep you going? Where do you get your knowledge from? Your food? Do you read? Do you watch videos? What I see your shirt, Black Money. You like, I mean, you seem like a guy. I just want to peel it all apart, man. I want to know what's up, man. Where did you get that mind from, man?
All right. So first off, salute to my guy City. He designed these shirts, and I have to support, and everything I do has intentions behind it. So that's one thing about me. The thing that I want, but to answer your questions, where I get it from is I do all the above. I watch videos, I read. I've been to seminars. I've been in different circles of individuals and different experiences in my life, which allows me to gain information. And then I have a gift for storing information in a way that I can remember at a later date. So one of the things I was great at in college was cramming. People say don't cram, but shoot, give me a couple of hours the night before. Yeah. I'm a ace that test the next day, even though I haven't studied, because I can store information quick. That was something that I talked about. One of the things I talked about in my book. But the funny thing that you said process. That's each chapter in my book is named. It's not chapter 1, it's process 1. The reason why I use the term process, because it's a process to grow. But you also got to process the information that's going to help along your process in growth. And when it comes to me reading these books and doing that, one of my main inspiration is my dad, who who has taught me a lot of information as far as like in business and building relationships with people and in growth. He's taught me a lot and allowed me to grow in many ways. Another major inspiration, I have to say, is Les Brown, and his story is very similar to mine. Mm-hmm. See, I was considered special ed from the time I was first grade to 12th grade. Mm. From first to 12th, I was in special education. When I recognized his story, you know, by the way, I was special ed because they said I had a learning disability and a speech disorder. Yeah.
Which they do to a lot of us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I read up on Les Brown and how they said that he was equally mentally retardation in his mind, and it was like, wow, he obviously overcame that. And it made me started looking at my situation and recognize, what if it was never something wrong with me? Because at that time I believed that, you know, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe this. Though I've always had confidence within myself, I was valedictorian twice, you know. So I achieved a lot, but there was always this thing. And when I listened to Les Brown's story, it made me start to realize, you know what? Ain't nobody can limit anything I can do. Whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and life tries to put limitations on us. People can put limitations on us, like that whole crab in the bucket syndrome, and people. I mean, like you said earlier, you want to get around people that are like-minded or even smarter than you. You know, you always want to keep those people in your circle, take in that sort of information, because there's a lot of things out there against us. And I remember you said that if you have an idea, don't just go out telling everybody, just do it, just work on it. I know there's a biblical story about a guy named Joseph who had a dream. He was like, he said, God came to me and said, I'm going to be over you all. He was talking to his brothers, and his brothers was like, what? And then they cast him into slavery because he just told them his dream of what he had. Like, a lot of people aren't on your side, so you got to watch what energy you bring in your circle, your ecosystem, and you have to be able to get through those hurdles, get through those weeds, the people telling you what you can and can't do. I was in the military, and I had because I failed a uniform inspection one time. One of the captains or something came to me. He said, "You're not ever going to be amount to anything," you know, and that stuck with me. Like, how you going to say you're not going to be anything? You tell, you know, you're in the military, you're about 18, 19, 20 years old. You're telling a kid that. So, and he was about 40, 50 years old. So, yeah, I mean, you can't let people tell you what you're going to do, who you're going to be, or anything like that. It's up to you and your mind. And your mind can go places we don't even know it can go. So yeah, man. I'm glad you hit on that. Not letting anything limit us for who we're gonna be. So yeah, man. I know this is a marketing show, and so I kind of want to hit on a couple of things to help people. Say they do decide to get a book. What are you doing to market the book? What kind of advice do you have to someone to market their material?
All right, so I'm learning this on the fly as far as marketing a book, because this is my first book I've ever learned. But one of the things what you can do is, one, be consistent. Always talk about your book. Get your book in front of as much eyes as possible, whether it's through online or in person. One of the things I did, if you look on you might have saw one of the videos, is, you know, the Don't Rush Challenge. So yeah. I found a way to incorporate my book in the Don't Rush Challenge.
Okay.
And so I was able to do that. That got some views on it. I did another one. So that's one of the ways to do it. Number two, through advertisements. So Amazon got an advertisement program, which you can get my book is on Amazon. You get it on Amazon, but you could get it on my website as well. So I'll leave that information towards the end where people can find my book. But so, and that's another thing. I created a website. All these are forms of marketing because now it looks better when I share a link and not Amazon.com/such and such slash what going on forever. Yeah. Now I have a very small, concise link, www.levelup. No, not even www. Just levelupbestlife.com, where you can just get my book. These are different forms of marketing and just building as much relationships, creating much distribution as possible. The one lesson I learned from an old network marketing book I learned was this book. They talk about how did Coca-Cola brand itself, and they branded themselves by creating vending machines. So instead of trying to sell it in one place or another, let's create as much of these vending machines, fill it up with all our products. So, and then have it where people can see it and they'll see it and they'll be able to get it. And that's what my mentality is to find multiple distribution chains. So it's only been a month for me. A month was on the 1st, but these is the things you have to think about is how many people, how many places can people see it? Because the more times they see it, the more they're going to feel that they need to get it, especially if you're in the self-development range.
Bro, you got a strong mind because that's exactly right. Just putting it out everywhere you can, any distribution channel. And I mean, just keep putting it out there. And I haven't put out a book or anything, but I heard Amazon has a process where they'll even print your book and everything, do a cover and all that. So are you utilizing that method?
Yes, yes, I am. I have my book right here. This is the book I have right here from my book.
Did Amazon print it out?
Amazon to print it out. So what it is I had somebody design it. I paid for someone to design it. They came up with design and everything. So Amazon has a process where you can upload the design. You can design the back of the book. So where I put my synopsis and everything, my picture, you can see my little mini bio and all these information. That's a part of the book. You can make that design as well. And this is probably the first book that I just got just to test it out. So once people got it, I've been able to format it the way I wanted to do it. So Amazon creates a process that makes it very easy for you to design it the way you want to. And from what I see from other places, they are the cheapest to even print it out.
Yeah, Amazon is great, man. I mean, just as you know, on the marketing side of things, you can create shirts, you can create books. I mean, they have so many programs. You can sell, like I sell on Amazon. I sell used books. Like that's why you probably see all those books I got at different garage sales, yard sales. I mean, they have so many opportunities for people. So if you're looking to gain capital, if you're looking for anything, I would look into Amazon because I mean they already have the platform. Millions and billions probably of people are searching in there. They have different, like you say, advertising methods that you can use. So yeah, I would suggest anyone looking for capital, anyone looking to publish or anything, just Google, YouTube, go and just stick to it. Like you said, cramming information. And I want to hit on that a little bit. What do you speak on in your book about retaining information and stuff? What can people do to practice getting that information?
Well, retaining information it starts with some of the most simplest things in the world. Being in the present moment. Very simple.
Yeah.
It's a very hard discipline, but we call it grounding, and the point of being grounded is to focus on in that moment, not focus on what you're going to do once you do this, what you're going to do. Sometimes when you're there, you're able to focus on what's being told to you. Second thing you have to do is whenever you're listening to something, you have to tie it to how it affects you. So put an emotion to it. So it's like in one of my other professions, I was in training, and I barely took any notes during the training. While people have loads of notes from days to days, and one, I'm not the fastest writer in the world, but two, I know that I can learn information much quicker once I hear it. I can put a process. I can make sense of it. Once it makes sense to me, I don't forget it.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I believe that anybody can do it because the mind is a muscle. You have to train that muscle to work in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing you have to look at it. You have to know how to, part of it is going through reprogramming in your mind and stop and don't believe what anybody tells you about you. Everybody has a genius with them. Everybody has a form of genius within them. It's how you express it to the world. Some people genius is to be a great speaker. Some people genius is just through painting. Some people genius is through another form of mass communication. Creating Amazon took a form of genius. Somebody that's creating Zoom platform is a genius. So there's genius all amongst us. Is tapping into your inner genius and allowing it to flow within through whatever you're gifted and naturally talented at.
Yeah. Man, you hit some powerful points right there. Tapping into your genius. Also, man, dang. You said something there. I had it on the tip of my tongue that I wanted to really dive deep into. But yeah, we'll stick with finding your genius right now. And yeah, that's because I really wanted to hit on what you said. Finding your genius is something that you have to focus on. There, I figured it out. What I want to talk about because I can't let this go by. Me personally, like when you talked about being grounded and things like that. Me personally, I've had problems with that because I tried to do so many things at one time. For my audience out there that is trying to do a lot at one time, I had to let some things go to be able to focus on one thing, maybe two, but really one thing. Like I wanted to have my e-commerce store going the way I wanted it to go because I'm a marketer. It's pretty easy in my mind. That's what I thought. But it's a lot to go to it. Setting up the store, making sure, customer service, keeping up with stuff. And while I was focused on that, I was taken away from my digital marketing, my clients, and things like that. So when I was learning or getting information for e-commerce, I was just, my mind was somewhere else. I wasn't grounded, thinking about some other things. So really being grounded and focused is very important. And you're only one person. So you can't have, what's it called? Gold object syndrome. I believe that's what it's called. You heard of that? Gold?
Yes, I heard of that.
It's just where everything, shiny object syndrome. It's just everything is just like, oh man, e-commerce. Oh man, investing. Oh man, I'm gonna write a book too. Oh man, like because it's all good. It's a lot of good stuff in the world, but you have to focus, stay grounded, and learn something, master that, and then move on. Get something rolling, master that, and then move on. So that was my problem with staying grounded. And if my audience is out there and having problems doing multiple things or they're not able to brand themselves because they're off in different directions. Hopefully you can let some stuff go, sacrifice some things, and focus on that one thing. So
let me, and to cut across you too, let me make it very clear. I had to learn this too. Trust me, I was part of. I had that shiny object syndrome myself because it's always something that seems so good, And my energy. I like if I feel like I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't like restriction. If it's something that's I want to do, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And I had
Mm-hmm.
to kind of realize is that, all right, it's better to, take 5 trips to carry a few handful of stuff than to be slowed down trying to carry a whole bunch of things
Yeah.
and you're struggling to get there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because the truth is, you use the example. If you get your digital comments to a point that your business is generating, let's say, 5 or 10,000 a month, it's easy now because you hit your goals in income that you want to bring, that now you can focus somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
without taking so much, because now this business is kind of self-operating at this point.
Yeah.
But it's another thing where you're like, okay, I'm doing real good, but this seemed like I could really do my thing here. And then you're just jumping all over the place. And
Yeah.
that's the problem. So one message I would leave to everybody is focus on the one thing that excites your energy the most at that current moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that, I mean, that's great minds, entrepreneurs, leaders. That's what we all have in common is wanting to do it all because we know we can. But at the end of the day, we're one person. So we have to take that one thing and run with it. And everybody has to do that. There's no getting around it. So, yeah, yeah, I appreciate you talking about that. And uh, where can people find your book now? Like, and give us the full name. We can search, type in. It's going to be in the show notes and everything. So after the show, you all can click on the link and check out Javone's book.
All right, so you can find my book on Level Up. Well, the title of the book is called Level Up: How to Start Living Your Best Life Now. If you want to search that, you'll find that book. You can find my book on levelupbestlife.com. Look that website. It will connect you to the link. You can also sign up to the email so I can give you information on upcoming events, whether I'm doing some book signing or anything that's going on. I'm looking to expand as much as possible. So if you want to contact me, you can contact me through getting connected on levelupthatsite.com. Also, you can get the books there and you can find that book anywhere. So
Awesome, awesome. Well, Dr. Love Jones, besides your book, what book would you recommend people take a look at as well?
all right. So here's a few books I'm working on. I had one book that I just finished reading is "You Are a Badass." I forgot the full title,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I can't. I gotta. This was one of my many gems.
Yeah.
All right, so "You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living Your Best. Start living an awesome life." It's a book by Jen Sincero. That book kind of is one of the books that I just finished reading, and it's something I recommend to many people because it's a great, powerful book. Second book I would recommend has to be the book that most people, if you're in the self-development, has already read. So if you're starting off, you should read this: Think and Grow Rich.
I knew it. I didn't want to say it. I knew it.
You gotta, and that book right there is, that book is it's funny because that book resonated me on many levels because, for one, that book was written in 1937. In 2020, it's still relevant.
Still relevant, yeah.
Number two, that book is said to make more millionaires than any other book in history.
Yeah.
But the question I want to ask is this: who was the first millionaire that book make? That's something, when you're writing a book, you got to think about that. Because whatever you're making a self-help book, the first person you're helping is self. Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich, and he made himself a millionaire off that book.
Oh, wow.
In
Yeah.
the process of making so many other millionaires.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
so So that message for anybody that's writing a book, especially a self-help book, the first person you want to help is yourself. Because as you grow, because you have to grow to write the book. And once you put it out, you're growing because it's part of that message you put out there. Yeah. And it's going to manifest within you. So that's why that book I would recommend everybody to read, because you have to understand the stories that he told from that time then. And if I have to give you a third book, I will recommend everybody start. I would recommend a book from my mentor called Takia Diamond, and it's called The Power to Profit. Okay. It's a book that talks about money in a way you never heard it before. It's about not just the money aspect of how to get rich monetarily, but it's to tap into the energy of money. And even in my book, Process 6, I talk about a money mindset. And it's not just, okay, how to manage your money, what to invest it to, and whatever. She gives a lot of information, but that book's main objective is to let you know that money is energy. And just like any other energy source, you can tap into it and have it flow in your direction.
Amazing. Well, we'll most definitely check that out, man. I appreciate all the knowledge and gems you've given my audience, and we will be looking out for you. And I want to get with you sometimes, man, on some marketing stuff. See where we can go. If you ever thinking about an online coaching program or anything like that, I'd love to help out, or anything like that. So,
well, we definitely going to talk more, because I'm grateful for you. I know you have some information. I see what you got going on, and I do think that it's time for us to really start tapping into our networks and seeing how we can help each other grow within our realm. So
yes,
we definitely want to talk.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. All right, my brother, man, it's been an honor and a privilege speaking with you. And I'm not going to hold up any more of your day. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, bro.
Same to you. And one more thing, if you want to contact me, follow me on Instagram. You can follow me, Dr. Dr. Jones on Instagram. You could. And then on Facebook, I'll leave links where you can follow my book pages and stuff like that. So just that little small tidbit. Thank you for having me on. And
also, you reminded me. All that information, all the links are going to be in the show notes. So check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Breaker, everywhere, all over the place. And the links will be in the show notes. Also on YouTube. Just Google or YouTube the Brandon Zone or Javone, Dr. Love Jones, and it'll all be there. So I appreciate you putting that out there, reminding me, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We here.
All right. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, take it easy, bro.
All right. Peace, everyone. Y'all have a great day.
Yes. All right. Bye-bye.